y'all. Welcome to another episode of Francamente, the greatest football podcast on earth. I'm so excited to be here with you. My name is Franca. I'm your host. And without further ado, let's get into it. Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Francamente. We are seeing each other less, but only if you're not listening to the other podcast, Mate con Franca, and if you aren't, why aren't you? Okay? Because if you are, I'm seeing you just as often. And check out Mate con Franca. It's so good. It's so fun. It's the same stuff. We're just not tied to football. But football is going to come up over there too, just as things that aren't football come up over here, because that's how we roll. What's going on? I missed y'all so much. This is my first solo episode in a little bit, right? I've been doing the guest thing. Although when Francamente started, my very, very first guest ever was Carlos. Shout to Carlos, who was amazing. So it's not like, I actually haven't had that many guests. So I'm going back to my roots as a solo podcast hostess. What am I wearing today? It's a little old thing I pulled out from the collection. It is an OM Olympique Marseille warm up. It's a warm up. It's quite old. I wonder, is it from the Bielsa era? No, I don't think it is. I don't remember. I don't remember at all. But it's cute. It's celeste. Haven't worn it yet. It fits the bill because we're trying not to repeat. Although I might soon, just because I would rather wear stuff that's on topic if I can. And today should have been a peñarol jersey day, a peñarol kit day, because what the hell is going on? Peñarol literally is killing it. It's brought some much needed and rare joy. Rare joy because the world sucks, and also rare joy because football has been suffering. Football has equaled suffering recently. All I know is Spain, but the S is silent. Although, there's quite a few silver linings. We're going to talk about Peñarol, but there's also, Barcelona's killing it. I don't want to jinx it because Ter Stegen got injured and who knows. But look, sometimes a goalie getting injured is the best thing that's ever happened to a team. So, Copa Libertadores. I've been going through it. I feel like that's been the theme of my life for months now. It's been a roller coaster. And what a joy to have to be a fan of Peñarol these days, making history. Look, if we look at Peñarol, okay, who's now going to be in the semi-final of the Copa Libertadores for the first time in I don't know how long. We have to look at the transfer market data. And I'm not a big fan of this because I've been fighting with people in my life a lot about it because some people are purists. Shouts to my dad, who is always, he's gone off the deep end with this, and he'll just always say he's a pessimist when it comes to football. So we fight a lot. I'm a pessimist too. We're Uruguayan, but I fight him. That's what we do. But he's right about this. Don't ever tell him I said this. I'm going to pull up the graphic that I made, and then a big old page stole it. I literally made the graphic just on a whim the day that they won the first leg, because already I was already satisfied with that, because I was like, look, this is Brazil's cup at this point. Let's not Brazilian teams' cups. Let's not pretend otherwise. I'm actually quite mad. I have no love. I have no love for the Brazilian league. None. I'm a hater. I don't care. Fuck them all. I'm just mad. But like, look, we've got so I made this graphic after the first leg. I was already satisfied. Look, I did not think Peñarol was even going to win one game, let alone the series. Okay, against Flamengo, who's like one of the big teams in Brazil, and Brazil just like owns that fucking cup. Like I hate it. I already had heartbreak, massive heartbreak last year at the final of the Libertadores due to a Brazilian team. I'm tired. I'm tired. But I went in ready because all that football has been for me recently is suffering. And then the first leg I was at, it was actually even more exciting because it like gave us at the end of that leg there was hope. Everyone was happy. There was like it was such a great vibe. This game was kind of boring. The second game was kind of boring, and also very nerve-wracking because like imagine being up 1-0 overall, okay? And then you have a whole game with 0 goals on either side. It's so stressful every little time they get close and you're like, this is it. This is it, you know? I mean, you still have an advantage at that point, but then going to penalties is always like a crapshoot or whatever. So it's you guys, and for Uruguay, like we needed this. Look, I'm not going to talk about Nacional ever. Like, fuck that. Fuck those motherfuckers. But like, no Uruguayan team has won a Copa Libertadores, first of all, in that billion years. And like, they haven't even gotten close in any sort of recent years. So I've even seen, and Nacional fans are salty as a people. Like they're salty, they're petty, they're nasty ass bitches. But I've even seen Nacional fans, some of the rudest ones, like congratulate me and say like and talk about like what this really means for Uruguay. That you know they're salty deep down inside, but like, okay, like thank you so much. Y'all are gonna root for us. Cause look, and the other side of the bracket, I'm not gonna talk about River either, River with a B. But like another that and that I'm not gonna root for them, but I don't want to see Brazil in the final. I really don't want to see a Brazilian team in the final. What if the final is River versus Peñarol? I'll die. Oh my God, this is a possibility. Where are we gonna watch the Peñarol final? I mean the Peñarol semifinal, y'all. Tell me. Let's meet up. Um Stats. I made this graphic after the first leg and I was like, just a thought, y'all. And then a big ass page posted it. The same thing. Okay. Literally, like, I genuinely think they took it from me. It's simple, but it's like, I haven't seen it anywhere else. What are y'all doing? Um, why does this matter? Why does the transfer market stats matter? Flamengo, okay, their net worth is 207 million euros. 207 million euros. By world standards, that's nothing. By South American standard, by world standards, that's nothing. Wow. Let's unpack that. Okay, I'm done. By South American standards, Peñarol's net worth in comparison to Flamengo, 33 million euros. Talk about an underdog story. So like, look, Peñarol in Uruguay is the team of the people. It's the team of the people. It's the team that's most associated with like liberation. They're the Boca Junior. Look, Dios said it. Dios said it. Maradona said it. And I'm going to get that tattooed on me. Boca es Peñarol. Boca es Peñarol. So they're already the team of the people. There is that like, you know, that mysticism aligned with Peñarol, who we are as a people. And then on top of that, you've got this true underdog story of the net worth of Flamengo. I have to look up the net worth of the team they're playing next. But what a time. What a time to be alive. Last year's Copa Libertadores final, I barely survived emotionally. I did go see it at the city. That was amazing. What if the finals River versus Peñarol? I'll die. Regardless, what if Peñarol makes it to the final regardless? Like, I've not been prepared for this. This is the difference between us and haters. This is the difference between us and fascists. and arrogant fucking assholes, right? Um, an arrogant asshole is always gonna assume they're in it. They're in the fight. They're always gonna like assume, right? Like that they're the greatest thing ever and blah blah blah. Those of us who are pessimistic, realistic, humble are always going to assume the opposite. So I genuinely had no hope that this would have happened. So I'm like in shock. I'm in shock. I got to break out my peñarol kit because I have a couple, but I think I've worn one or two on the pot already, which is why it's kind of like put away. I'm kind of like living in a lot of my stuff is in storage, and so my stuff's put away because I'm like I keep out the ones I haven't worn on the pod because and the ones that I wear like regularly I keep those out. But other than that, I have a bunch of them in storage just because I don't have the space. So I'm gonna go have to bust that out. Although maybe it's not, it's been good luck that I haven't worn kits. Sometimes the good luck is wearing kits, sometimes the good luck is not wearing kits. So I don't know. But what a time. What a time. Little old Peñarol from little old Uruguay. Okay. Natural born underdogs. Always underdogs. Esto es Peñarol. Esto es Peñarol. Esto es ser mancha. You know, um, there's always a solace, a consolation in being myself as an Arjehuasha who's a fan of Peñarol and Boca is that like I don't have to brag. My team speaks for themselves. My teams speak for themselves. Uruguay, Argentina, Boca, Peñarol consistently at the top. And I don't have to brag. I can just spit facts, right? So it does feel nice to to be an Arjehuasha fan of Peñarol and Boca. Um and get to just get congratulated by everyone. Everyone's like, congratulations. I'm like, ah, it was hard work, but we did it. Imagine me watching from the couch. We did it, y'all. We did it. So Peñarol's going on to the next round of Libertadores. We'll see how that goes. Stay tuned. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe the next episode will be talking about the Libertadores final. Um, on the other side of the Rio de la Plata, we had heartbreak in the Super Clásico. Boca, Boca nor River have been good. They're not good this season, but we did have a Super Clásico, of which there's always a few per year, and it didn't go well, and it was depressing and like look, I love Cavani so much. I really do love Cavani. Like that's an untouchable man. You know what I mean? Um, and yet we can't be Boca Juniors and relying on a man who is so close to retirement. We just can't do it. I love Merentiel. I have such a love-hate relationship with that Vincula. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, Boca's going to the Club World Cup. No one knows how that happened, but that's good news. But like, other than that, it's like there's not much excitement, you know? I mean, there's excitement in always tuning in and seeing the Bombonera like explode. The Bombonera is like nowhere else on earth, truly, truly. And I do love to see that and the passion and those colors. Like, oh man, like there's something about that blue and yellow. I've been posting my little pictures from my London trip and from my UK trip. Like I'm still posting those, even though it's been months since I've been back. Unfortunately, I hate it here, but we keep going. Been posting my pictures and on Notting Hill, where we did a little tour with my mom of, I mean, it was just Google. I have a little Google like list, Google Maps list of where the little houses are. And I go there every single time I'm in London, and I never get tired of it. And they never change. Like they never change in terms of they like keep them like very nice and updated, but they don't change the facades. Like where I'm like, oh, there's this one pink house on this street It's still there, you know. And this one house that I brought this up for is there's a Boca Juniors house. I swear to God, there has to be Boca Juniors fans that live there. There's no other explanation. And it's like it's the shade of blue and yellow that the house is painted. And it's like the Boca house. Every single time I go, I'm like, oh, maybe they painted it, you know, like maybe they changed the colors. They never do. I love it. It's on that little St. Luke's Place with my other two faves, which is the Barbie and Oppenheimer houses, the pink next to the black. Shouts to London. Love y'all so much. Boca, what are you doing? I need you to get it together because I have very little reason to live, and y'all are one of it. So like, please, I need y'all. Like, don't do this to me. What else? What else is going on? I was so sad about the what are we gonna call that? The jamón ibérico clásico, which is Daddy Pep versus son Artidis, Manchester City versus Arsenal, the jamón ibérico clásico. Look, first of all, can we talk about how Artidis is in his villain era? He's been saying some shit, and I'm like, bro, he's now that he's secure, now that he signed the contract to stay at Arsenal forever, he's like, I'm a talk. He's always been very diplomatic, and like his daddy Pep, like he would never, right? He would never have said anything against him. That's his dad. How could you, you know? And yet, did y'all see the tea? Did y'all see the tea? He came out and he said something like, oh, they asked him, because now they're asking every single person about like all this, you know, all these charges and everything with City. And, you know, they asked him about City, which I think is wild. And I know why they do it, obviously, because that's his dad. But like, who else gets asked about another team in the same league that often? It's fucking ridiculous. But so they asked him about City and he was like, oh, I know shit. He was like, I know some shit. Okay. I was there for 4 years. So if y'all want it, I'll spill. That was the gist of what he said. Not in those words. I added a little flair, but like, what is you doing? I'm here for it though. I'm here for the tea. I'm so sad because Arsenal really did deserve to win that game. I'm so tired of City. I'm so tired of City. Look, there was a time where I sympathized with City, and I will always love Pep. I will always love Pep. That's my daddy. He's the greatest to ever, one of the greatest to ever do it. He's brilliant, amazing, sexy, all of the things. But like, I'm tired of City. I actually want him to leave so that I could like fully hate City. But I'm tired of the Nazi robot. I'm just like, I'm over it. And that game, it was theirs. First of all, the 2 red cards. Okay, I mean the 2 yellow cards were bullshit. Both of them were, either one alone would have already been too much, but you're gonna give them 2. Now you've got, and then Arsenal held on for so long, and then at the end there, it was like the most heartbreaking thing. I've said this before, right? A tie, a draw in football is amazing. It's amazing. It's poetic, right? Because a draw can literally make you feel like you won a game. Imagine being the team that draws it at the end, right? That ties it up at the end. Or it can literally make you feel like a loss, like the worst loss ever. That's what it felt like when City tied it up in the last second. They just had to hold on 1 more second. This is the shit that at the end of the season, if Arsenal loses the league again by 1 point, you're going to go, you could have just held on for 1 more second. You know what I mean? Whatever. I mean, they did what they could. There's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of bullshit. It is what it is. It was really, really heartbreaking. On that note, let's go to a little break. We'll be right back to chat more shit. And we're back. And we're back. I want to say one more thing about Peñarol. Um, the reason, besides like them being, historically a football giant, and at the same time, because it's Uruguay, because it's so tiny, because Alf is so corrupt and there's so much bullshit, and because the Liga Uruguaya really is in ruins, um, they're the underdog. Peñarol is 100% the underdog, definitely of the last four, and I would even venture to say of the last maybe even six. I don't know about eight, maybe even six, right? The last six teams. I think Colo Colo's up there too with the underdogs. Anyway, the point is Peñarol is definitely the underdog left, right? And so we've got this amazing like David versus Goliath thing, the money thing. Like the fact that they're an underdog isn't just like a silly thing, a coincidence. I think that that is a perfect, beautiful example of the few pockets of magia, right? Of magia, of magique, that we've got left in this sport. And that's where when we say there's a saying we say in Uruguay, which is la historia pesa, and that's because the World Cup history and everything with Uruguay, right? But the saying is la historia pesa, and like that's what's at play here. You will not convince me otherwise. It's the football gods giving us just a tiny little bit of cosmic justice for sticking around, for still being fans of a team like Peñarol, for being loyal. Like it's cosmic justice for that from the gods to be like, this is that little bit of like Galianesco magic left in the sport that is like the money has ruined it, modern football has ruined it, but there's still these little itty bitty pockets of like hope and joy in that like modern football era of like that's Peñarol, baby. That is Peñarol making it to the next round of Libertadores. Like a little bit of magic for us, just a little sprinkle. So I just had to throw that in there. There's been a couple of situations of players speaking out about a situation that is very real that many of us have been talking about for years, which is, and as much as I love football, it's my life, it's my religion, it keeps me alive. There are just too many games. There's too many games. We've said this before. I distinctly remember an episode where I was talking about Manchester City. But there's too many games. Look, this summer was amazing for us as viewers. There was not one single day without football, I think. We had overlapping we had obviously Copa America, we had the Euros, if you go further back, we've had AFCON this year too. Leagues in between there. Okay, leagues coming back. There, we didn't get we viewers and people who are obsessed with football like we are did not get a single break from football at all this summer, right? There's just too many games. You've got cups within cups and little cups and big cups and all these cups like in every single country. And then you've got the international and then you've got the friendlies and then it's too much. It's all a money grab. This is another way that money is ruining the sport, right? It's all a money grab because for FIFA, right? And the continental confederations, like it's a money grab for them. So like great, they'll work these people to the bone. Leaving aside the fact that they're billionaires, they make so much money and that's their job to play, right? They're still human beings. They're not machines. We're seeing look, we literally are watching players drop dead on the pitch. It's absurd what we're putting these human beings to. They're not robot, not Nazi robot aside. He's the only one, but his country ain't shit. So he's not playing too much internationally, but what are we doing? Putting these players through the ringer for what? For our own entertainment? I get it. They make a lot of money. Y'all are gonna come for me for that. But like, they're still human beings and we're putting them through this. Of course, you have, the injury list at some of these teams is outrageous because, like, of course it is. How is this sustainable on the human level in any way? And there's a player that was talking about this. I think he plays for Bayern. I think he plays in Bundesliga. I don't remember who it was, someone in Europe. Someone in the Americas too, but I won't name them. I won't name that team. That also had someone speak out about it. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm glad that they're speaking out. And I hope that this turns into them speaking out about more and more substantial issues. But the reality is that, like, what are we doing to our own player? Like, we're doing this to our own people that we're supposed to be cheering on and loving. Like, I don't love that for us. I think that we need to have a long, hard look at ourselves. And unless we start making rosters that are like twice the size that they are now, like the size of the Chelsea current roster, which is the memes on that were hilarious when they were like, it was a bus full of people and all that stuff, Chelsea players. Um, until we decide that we're gonna have those kind of rosters, like, this can't go on. It just can't go on. It's not sustainable. It's not good for anyone. Like, we're gonna keep seeing injuries, and then it's like the magic is disappearing a little bit. I mean, it's disappeared a lot, but in those moments, you're like, damn, like, why? It's like we're trying to work these people as if they were robots. You know what I mean? And I don't like it. And I'm really glad that people are speaking out about it. So, um, I wanted to touch upon that. The thing I've been dying to get on here and scream into the void about, um, is the fucking delusion. The delusion, right? Of umbrella term MLS fans. I'm so far removed. Look, for a second, I hopped back on the RBNY bandwagon because they were gonna have a Uruguayan. That was then it turned out he was on loan. They did that announcement, and then it was like, okay, he's on loan. Oh, speaking of announcements, like the LA Galaxy Mate little videos. Hello, Mate content. Love it. They did the announcement. I was like, oh, maybe. And then I was like, no, I have no desire. I have no desire to support any team in this fucked up ass league. But I do see the stuff once in a while in my feed because, again, I'm decolonizing my feed, and that includes removing United Stations mostly. But I do see stuff pop. Wow, how embarrassing. I do see stuff pop in every once in a while, and I need to talk about the delusion of NYCFC fans. The situation, here's the context, here's the setup, okay? The situation is Miami came to play City. And I don't know the lack of self-awareness that it takes to be an NYCFC fan and be proud to share the content that y'all shared. Like, are y'all okay? Like, yikes. I was cringing so hard at some of these people that swear they're tough. And they're like, they're barras bravas and they're hooligans. And they posted little videos of themselves giving the finger to the bus that Messi was on. Girl, like, girl, okay, what is you doing? So, like the cringe is so real because they thought they were so hard, okay? You want to talk about hard? Don't talk to me until you've got bullet holes in your visiting team bus. And I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying, like, don't act like what you're doing is so like, oh, like edgy. Like, oh my God, it was so cringe. Okay. The way that these people like truly have zero self-awareness. That was the first thing. And then, the game started. I didn't see anything, but like this was obviously made all of the feeds. And they had a TIFO that they swore they did something. They really thought they did something. And that is the part that almost makes me feel bad if it weren't for the fact that they're such delusional fucking weirdos. Um the TIFO set was a Barbie themed TIFO, which shouts to Barbie Queen. and it said like plastic, made of plastic or something like that, Messi sold separately or something like that. Like they were implying that people who are Miami fans for Messi are plastic. Sir, ma'am, are you really sitting there in a celeste kit, in a sky blue kit that says the word city on it? Are you representing a Citigroup team that's like 1 day old, that has zero history, and that's made up of the most plastic fan base in the entire league? And on top of that, y'all got Eric Adams. So address that first, okay? So y'all gonna sit there and be that, and then try to tell people that they're plastic fans for supporting Messi? Pot, may I introduce you to the kettle? Please, I would like to hold up a mirror to your face. Like, did not one person think that this wasn't gonna backfire and y'all weren't gonna get roasted to hell and dragged to hell for being the biggest hypocrites on the planet? Like, how are you? Come on, please. I wouldn't even feel comfortable if I were a Red Bulls fan and did that, because Red Bulls fans, the Red Bull fans, okay, are the sellouts, because really we sold out to a corporation too. So how dare you? How dare anyone in MLS call anyone else a plastic fan, but especially NYCFC? Are you fucking kidding me? Please, like, get your shit together. Go eat your little, hot dogs or whatever it is on your little baseball pitch, okay? Go talk to your buddy Eric Adams, okay? And leave everyone the fuck alone. Like, I cannot with the audacity of those motherfuckers. And I was just laughing. I was dying. It was the comic relief that I needed, really, truly, because everything is shit, right? So I was like, y'all tripping, like the audacity. So at my lowest point in life, I will still never be a fucking delusional fan of a Citigroup team daring to call anyone else a fucking plastic fan. I think that's it. I think that's it for the day. Thank you so much for listening. Go scream at an NYCFC fan. You'll feel better. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking with me. Please make sure to follow, like, subscribe, leave reviews, tell a friend, okay? Some of y'all aren't doing enough of that for my liking. Some of y'all will support in private and not public, and that's problematic as fuck. We'll talk about it another day, okay? But please do it. Join the Discord. Come on my podcast if you'd like. Guests are fun now. Now that I've had like guests, I'm like, ooh, guests are fun. So let me know. Shouts to the folks that have been on, whom I've loved so much. And actually, oh my gosh, I lied. My first guest was Vanessa. Shouts to Vanessa. Sorry, girl. It was Vanessa, then Carlos, then Aaron. I need to keep that straight. So again, follow, like, subscribe at Real Francamente on socials, okay? Instagram and Twitter. www.realfrancamente.com for more. Join the Discord. And shoot me a message if you love me. I need it. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Adios.